Hi, this is Don McAllister and welcome to another weekly tip video. This week I'm going to take a look at how you can remotely assist friends and family by using the built-in screen sharing in macOS, specifically in Messages. Now, there are many times when it would be so useful to either view or take control of a remote Mac when trying to help out, and with Messages you can do this without any third-party software. So to demonstrate, I'm going to use my iMac Pro and my MacBook Pro. So you're currently looking at my MacBook Pro, and across on the iMac, I've sent a message across saying, having trouble with system preferences, can you help? I've sent that via the standard Messages application. So I'm logged in as Don McAllister over there, and I'm logged in as SCO Demo over here. Now I can respond to this. Of course, you could just pick up the phone, but it's so much easier to get remote control or to view the remote screen when you're dealing with any support issues. The way you would do that is to, well, with this particular message selected, if you go to Buddies, you can ask to share screen, or if we click away, select the message here, control or right click, and again we can say ask to share screen. Now I have got a ScreenFlow session running across on the iMac Pro, so we should see what happens over there. So let me go ahead and ask to share screen. And we get a pop-up message, which we can just accept. And as you can see, SCO Demo 2016 is requesting permission to share your screen. We can either allow them to control or observe. I'm going to go ahead and say control my screen. So across on the MacBook Pro, there we go. Now I've got a dual monitor setup across on the iMac Pro. I have a 4K monitor and the iMac Pro screen itself, which I've set to a low resolution so we can see it a bit clearer during the demo. So rather than both displays, I'm going to go with this one. This is the main display on the iMac Pro, but again set to a low resolution. So there's my iMac screen, currently scaled so I can see the entire display. If I want to go to a zoomed in version, and I can just pan around the screen, I can do that, but we'll put it back to scaling. If I want to run system preferences, I can go to here, say system preferences, and then I can go in and help them out. You can switch on your microphone as well, or you can mute your microphone. You can do that by going to connection and here mute microphone. That way they can't hear the screams of anguish from this side. My microphone is muted. They can also mute their microphone on the other side as well. And if we just close this down, some of the things to have a look at. If you want to switch to just observing mode rather than controlling mode, we can switch that on. The cursor changes to this magnifying glass, so they've now got control. So you could at this point unmute the microphone and talk them through any operation. But I'll go back to normal control. There is also a shared clipboard. So if you want to copy something from the clipboard, you can use a shared clipboard. You can also transfer files as well. So if I go across to the Finder, say, that's using Command Tab on the remote machine, which I actually don't want to do. So let me just go back to here and across on my machine. Now if I go to the Finder, that's better. We'll select the Finder window. If I just get this document here, Joe, I should be able to just drag that file and drop it onto the desktop. And there we go, we can see the file transfer. And if I close that window down, close this window down, yeah, there's our Joe document across on the desktop of the iMac Pro. So very straightforward, very easy to use. If you want to disconnect, the other person on the other side can disconnect you. Let me just show you that. If I go across to the iMac Pro, now because I've got so many things in my menu bar, the remote control icon is pushed off. But if I just click on here, you can see I can allow SCO to control my screen, mute microphone, pause screen sharing, or end screen sharing. But if I just go back to my MacBook Pro, over here I can just go, well, if I go to connection and say close, that will close the remote connection down. And across on the iMac Pro, you'll see the message saying that I've closed the connection. Now, one final thing to show you, and that's the fact that you can block people from requesting access to your desktop. And the way you would do that, I'm across on the iMac Pro. If I request or ask to share the screen of SCO Demo 2016, across on my MacBook Pro, I could accept or I can decline. But when I click on decline, you'll see I have the option to block the user. But let me go ahead and just accept this because I want to show you just one final thing before we we go. So I'll let them observe my screen. We'll say accept. So back on the iMac Pro, I can now observe the screen. I've got this little magnifying glass. If I click and hold, I get this magnified loop, so I can look at a bit more detail at the remote screen. Now, as far as I know, there's no way of increasing the magnification or making that circle bigger, so it's just a gesture really. But let go, and you just have the magnifying glass, click and hold, and you get this magnification loop. Let's go ahead and we'll disconnect. If you want to learn more about using your Apple devices, there are over 700 full video tutorials available to Screencast Online members, covering all aspects of the Mac, iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and even the Apple TV. Now, all full members receive a new Apple-related video tutorial each and every week, as well as a free subscription to the ScreenCastsOnline monthly magazine, packed with videos and articles on getting the most out of your Apple devices. Now, you can get your free 14-day trial membership over at ScreenCastsOnline.com, or check out some of the free content over on the SCO Showcase app on the iPad, iPhone, and Apple TV. That's it for this week. I'll be back next week with another tip, so I'll speak to you then.